who had on their 2025 bingo card that Royal Caribbean Group would be going into and launching a river cruise company. I certainly didn't, but when they did it, I said, you know what? This makes a heck of a lot of sense. And so I wanted to come and talk to you all about why it makes a lot of sense, what you can be expecting, and things you need to know about the upcoming launch of Celebrity River Cruises. Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go to Weekend Cruise just about every weekend, and hopefully one day that will include river cruises, though I've never done it just yet. So Celebrity Cruise Line, specifically part of that Royal Caribbean Group umbrella, if you will, underneath that, Celebrity Cruises has said they are going to launch Celebrity River Cruises. So this is going to be available to start booking in 2025, not available just yet, for sailings starting in 2027. So a lot more to come. I'm a little bit late to the game, but I always like that because that gives me more information and more things that come out so that you can get some more information and details. So my first question was, why are they doing this? Like, why are they jumping into the river cruise market? And of course, the conversation was rather obvious. It's the same reason they're doubling down on weekend cruises. If you've not seen the weekend cruise video where Oasis class ships are being placed there, check that out. But it is because of revenue. They are missing out on a good chunk of the market because they are not participating in river cruises. Many of you may be familiar with Viking Cruise Lines. This is a company that has done the opposite approach. So they started and made their name in river cruise sailing. They've got cruises all over the world. And then they have now launched their ocean liners to rave reviews. I have not been on Viking Cruise Lines, but the people I know that have rave about the quality of experience, how good it is. And they now have passengers doing river cruises and doing ocean line cruises. And that's what Celebrity is wanting to do as well. Even though they've already got their ocean liners, now they're going to start building out this river cruise market so that they can get some of the revenue that they've been missing out on, because river cruises make a good bit of money. It also is going to provide natural advancement, if you will. So one thing that I've learned through my cruising journey, curious if you all feel the same way about yours, is I kind of started with Royal Caribbean. That was, I'll call it my intro brand, if you will. That's where I started out at. I'm finding more and more these days, I'm really appreciating the more premium, more adult Celebrity experience. I'm also, hopefully one day, going to be able to make it onto Silver Seas, and that's going to be the luxury line. So river cruises is going to come in this middle space here. So it'll be a river cruise, which is going to be premium. And one of the things we're going to talk about is it's going to cost more than Celebrity Cruise Line voyages will, because it is a river cruise, but it probably won't cost quite as much as the luxury Silver Seas. Some people would say that, maybe they should have made the river cruises within Silver Seas. I would say it's still a different market. River cruising, in my opinion, it's more of a premium product and is not that high-end luxury like you're going to find with Silver Sea. So I think this is the right place that it's going to be. I can't tell from the press release if it is going to be part of Celebrity Cruise Lines or if it's going to be its own kind of subsidiary of Celebrity River Cruises. They do refer to it as Celebrity River Cruises, but you might just be like booking all in the same thing. So if you go to celebrity.com, you might be to book it all and you might have the same experience. Loyalty programs match over. That is still to be determined in my book, but I'm excited to see what they come out with. So initially, they have ordered 10 ships. So river boats, not very large, so they can actually build these probably at a pretty quick clip. They're going to house about average. They haven't said what theirs are going to do, but normally river boats are around 250 people and under. I would say 250 probably is the average. They're 2 stories. They are small. They're not very big. So construction of these can go quick. I think it's also going to be a phased approach. I think this is their initial order for 10. And many of you, if you follow the cruise industry, know when you place an order, you often will say, okay, I want an option to buy more later on. And so I also think that they're probably going to be buying more of these, because if they want to cover the rivers of the world, if you will, there's a lot of them out there. So they're going to want to have more than just 10 ships. And by the way, these ships don't go very far. They can't cover a lot of ground because they don't move that far. So they're going to need more so that we can see more of the world. And that's the part of river cruising I'm super excited about, is being able to see more of the world. So from there, where are they going to start out on? They, again, haven't told us exactly where they're going, except they're going to be going to Europe. So if they've got 10 ships, I've got my eye on a few different rivers they're probably going to be cruising on. So you've got the Rhine, the Rhine River that's going to do Amsterdam, Basel, Cologne, places like that, Strasbourg. You're going to have the Main and Mosel rivers. You're going to have the Danube, one that I'm really looking forward to because it's got Germany, Austria, Hungary, Croatia, a bunch of amazing spots that you can cruise on. And then you've got the Seine and the Rhone over in France. I think those are going to be probably some of the first river cruises that they do out of those rivers. More to come. They have not told us this. This is me just saying these are the most popular ones. This is where the competition is already at. So all they've got to do is secure port spaces within those, and they can easily launch because the infrastructure is already there. And back to it being a phased approach, as they get more ships, I do think we're probably going to start seeing them in many places of the world. Think Egypt and the Nile. Think maybe in India or places in Asia that you can do river cruising as well. The one place that you're probably not going to find them ever doing, and this is not going to surprise many of you, is probably the American rivers. I do not see them playing a part in the American rivers because the people that they have to hire are Americans. We have American taxes, and the costs for that are going to be astronomical. There is the American Queen River Cruises that has made an industry of this, that this is their bread and butter, is American rivers. But I don't see, companies owned outside of the U.S., which has a little bit of political turmoil going on right now for them. They're making the news that, they could be taxed more. I don't see them doubling down and coming to the Americas market because it's complicating things when they do that. So I think they'll be in a lot of places, but probably not in the U.S. rivers. Now, what can you expect if you go on a river cruise? Never been on one, but I've certainly researched the heck out of it because I would love to. I love going to these really small places. And so that's the first thing you need to know is you're going to go places that cruise lines can't go to. And cruise lines these days are doing more Coco Cays and Costa Mayas and Belize, places where you're not really getting the culture of those places. If you want to get more culture, a river cruise is a fantastic option. It is often in port longer, so you get to really explore, maybe even have dinner where you're at because you don't have far to go probably overnight. You're just going to go down the river. You're also going to have more cultural events on board. You're going to have more lectures. You're going to have more guest speakers coming in to tell you what you're going to do. You're also going to have more tours that are focused on culture and history and those kind of items as you cruise around. Now, this is going to be a more immersive experience. Traditionally, river cruises have been more all-inclusive. And I know that Celebrity Cruise Lines tried this with their all-in or all-included package. Didn't go well, and they don't really offer it that much these days. River cruises, I think we're going to see this come back because river cruises, they oftentimes will include your airfare. They will also include your excursions, food, drinks, Wi-Fi. All of that is traditionally included in a river cruise. Celebrity could take a different approach, but I have a feeling that they're going to really make this a in-between product of Celebrity and Silversea, so it's going to have a higher price point. So that's the next thing that you can expect is to pay more than you would for a traditional cruise. River cruises, 250 people. That is all that is going to be on there, give or take. And because of that, you're going to pay a lot more money, but it will be a solid or should be a solid experience there. The good news, I think that Celebrity, given the cachet, the name recognition that they have, will have absolutely no problem sailing out these 10 ships. So again, if they are 250 people on here, there's 10 ships, that's 2,500 people. That is less than one Millennium class ship that they have to sell out, if you will, to fill up 10 different ships. So I think that the world is their oyster when it comes to this. The only downside or the trade-offs that I've seen here is that they have sold off some of the Galapagos sailings. So they have the expedition ships that they used to do. So the expedition, the exploration, and the experience was actually sold off in 2019. They did, however, maintain the Flora. That is one that they purchased just a few years ago. So if you want the Galapagos experience, you do need more of an in-between ocean liner, not a river cruise, but a similar concept. It is a very small vessel and a luxury vessel at that. The cost point for that, I would love to go, but that is probably not ever going to make my bucket list, unfortunately. All right, everybody, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser. Hoping to see you on a weekend cruise soon, or maybe we'll even get lucky and get to see each other on a river cruise one of these days over in Europe. And if you ever want to cruise with me, make sure you're signing up for the Group Cruise newsletter below to stay in touch with all of the group cruises that we're going to be doing.